Alright, what is up, everybody? It is Zach from the Streaming Society, and we're back with a new tier list. We're going to be covering the technique characters of Bleach Brave Souls this time. We did Power last week. This week, we're going to cover technique, and it's going to follow similar guidelines, do a little bit of tweaking to where stuff is. That way we can, as we go along these tier lists, we get better at it, we get better at putting where stuff should go, etc., etc., and we're going to quickly go over what each bracket is for, and kind of, rather a little faster this time, go over where characters should be, and not have such a long video this time. But if you end up enjoying this content, leave a like, that way we'll spread to more people that want this kind of content. Leave a comment on feedback, or just your thoughts on the tier list, whatever else you want to put down there. And of course, subscribe if you haven't yet to stay in tune for more Bleach related content. Ring the bell, that way you guarantee yourself to get that content. And we're going to jump right in now. Alright, so essentials are, like last time, these are kind of your characters that are like really important to have. This usually is going to end up being link slot characters. I consider them essential because they are really pivotal of you getting your link slot characters, or just link slotting your characters. They increase the rate at which you can farm that item, and they're the only ones that can do it in the game. So they're very good. Droplet increase characters are also pretty good. I don't think Power has a droplet increase character yet. If it does, I missed it. But I also kind of consider them essential, just because droplet characters are also good. Getting droplets in general is good. And they raise that increase. Mainly because it's not a soul trait that they do this with. It's like just something in their kit, and you can just add them to your team as like a passive character in your team. So I find that to be pretty safe to put there. I'm sure somebody argue, but whatever. It's a tier list, who cares? So after that is SS. These are going to be your best characters in the game. S are going to be really, really good characters, like the other options that are just like nearly as good, or you know, not as good, but still some of the best characters in the game. PvP is where we're going to put our, you know, PvP essential characters that are really good at doing that job. Auto is going to be where we put our, mainly our characters that are just good at doing that part of the game, where you can just throw them on auto and they're going to do really good at it. A is just our solid characters. B is kind of like our average characters, our middle ground guys. C is our slightly below average. They're just okay. Useful links. Obviously, you put them on characters for their links, their soul traits, what they offer a character. That way you can make builds with a certain character. These are going to be the most useful links in the game for whatever run you're trying to do or whatever build you're aiming for. And then D are obviously our trash characters, our really old characters, or just characters that don't age well. And with that in mind, we're going to go ahead and start by digging around in here, and we're going to grab some of our useful links that we've already talked about before, which are the Senkaimon characters, if I can find them. We'll also go ahead and put that Last Ditch Survival link in useful for Yumichika. Last Ditch Survival is when you guarantee yourself to come back from the dead when you die. With 100% is the ideal one. 80% are also okay. But yeah, so useful links like that are really good. So I would put it in useful links. Let's see, where are our Senkaimo characters? Senkaizen, School Ichigo, Zangetsu, Tatsuki, and that is all of them. Alright. Yeah, so those are our 4 Senkaimon characters. They are all useful links. And now we're actually going to begin with 4th Fusion Eisen. Okay. So 4th Fusion Eisen, this character is, I believe, one that has aged pretty well, I would say. So, for one, he's got Soul Reaper Killer, which is the best killer in the game. He's got the Recharge Link, which are very good to have on SP character. He has 753 SP, naturally, which means with Transcension in mind, it goes over 800 without much effort put into the character. And then he is also a boost character with the strong attack 2, and he has an instant kill option on his ult. He has Bruiser at 40%, which means his normal attack damage goes up by 40% on its own, which is quite good. His Devastation's at 40 for the ult. He has Enhancer with the recharge link, meaning he is pretty much infinite boost on a recharge link-oriented build. Frenzy, that way his strong attacks hit more. Long Reach for those normal attacks. His normal attacks are actually quite good. And then Sprinter, of course. Yeah, so with all that in mind, his strong attack 3 is full screen, and it hits quite a bit. Everything else is also just good, you know, the full screen ult. This character just kind of is aged really well. I imagine his, if they ever resurrect this character, it's going to be really strong. With that in mind, I'm going to put him in A. I think he's an A tier character. He might be more than that, maybe. No, I'd say he's A. I'm torn. He might go up. For now, we're going to put him in A. Okay, next is... What is her name again? What in the world is your name? The horn chick. I am losing track of who this character is. I cannot remember your name. Okay, so... Real quick, I'm going to have to pull up the game, and I'm going to try to... Apache, never mind. Came to mind. I did not have to pull up the game. Apache. We got this. We're here. We're doing good. Alright. Apache. Alright, so she got a resurrection, which gave her a slow duration reduction. That's not great. She does have the best killer in the game, though. 775 attack after the resurrection's not terrible. She does have burn option on the strong attack 3, but she doesn't have the ability that raises the length of status ailments. I can't remember the name of it right now. But yeah, so with Transcension in mind, she goes over 800 attack, but no flurry. Adrenaline means she attacks faster. Berserker at 40 for the strong attacks is also quite nice, especially with that burn in mind on the strong attack 3. Bruiser at 30 also helps with that really high attack stat. Devastation to 40% for the ult. Havoc at 20 for helping the range of her strong attacks, as well as long reach for the normal attacks, and then Sprinter. What do we got in mind here for attacks? A pretty decent strong attack 1. The strong attack 2 is okay. I mean, the radius is pretty good. The strong attack 3 is a little bit of an issue. It's one of those distant ones, which are okay. And then her special is also not full screen, which is a problem. Let's see what she's similar to in her bracket. She's comparable to Tesla, and thinking about Tesla, she's arguably better, to be honest. Yeah, like, she's comparable to Tesla as a character, and I would say she's better than him, but, like, she's about C tier, I would say. She's not great, she's just okay. Alright, the man that has plagued me a million times. He has stolen my full bring every time he appears. We have Green, a Rancor Killer, Genjo. He has a strong attack damage increase by 20%. Link. He has a Rancor Killer, which is second best in the game. 765 SP. Natural is also pretty good. That way he goes over 800 SP with Transcension in mind. Really good. He's ranged, which is hit or miss for people. I like ranged characters personally. He has a chargeable strong attack 3, which I think goes full screen. And not quite full screen, but pretty damn close. And then the magnitude goes up by a lot in that version. His strong attack 3 hits quite hard. if it's fully charged. And then he has a full screen ult, of course. Pretty decent strong attacks across the board. His strong attack 1 is a lunge, I think, if I remember right. But yeah, so we'll go over his kit a little bit real quick. The Bruiser is at 20%. He does not have Berserker, but he doesn't really need it, honestly. He's pretty good. The Bruiser does help with the normal attacks, which is nice. Devastation for the ult. Frenzy, he's immune to paralysis, which is quite helpful against the hidden enemies that are around Car. So that is good for him where he would be put content-wise. Sprinter, and then weakened defense on the ult, so the ult hits really hard. If they don't die from that, they will have, like, no stats to defend themselves with, and then you just beat them down afterwards after you use the ult. So, with all that in mind, what is he comparable to, actually? He doesn't really have a comparable character, per se, but I'd put him in B. I think he'll be the first character in B, honestly. Alright, next we have Holybell, the Beyond Resurrection version of her. I just recently 10-slotted this character, like yesterday. Alright, so, Beyond Resurrection Holybell is an Arrancar killer with Recharge Link, 12% not enhanced. The Arrancar killer is the second best in the game. So, good stuff. 794 SP, which goes well over 800 with Transcension, which is quite good. She's normal attack, melee attack on all of her moves, and then she has a boost barrier move for the strong attack 2, which is quite nice. She's got Berserker at 40 and Bruiser at 40, which is generally raises her attack potency on everything by quite a bit. Devastation at 60 means that ult hits really hard. That is a big ult. Enhancer, that way she kind of has infinite boost if you give her the recharge link build. Frenzy duration, immunity, or freeze duration, sorry, means she cannot be frozen, which is quite good against hollow enemies, not really Arrancar enemies. It's a little odd that she has freeze immunity, but it is good to have against different content, I guess. Maybe Senkaimon, honestly, if there's like a mixed floor that you put her in. And then Havoc at 20%, which just means that she has long-reaching strong attacks, which is quite nice. With that in mind, looking at the strong attacks, yeah, so that strong attack 1 is going to go really far because of the Havoc. Same thing with the strong attack. The strong attack 2, if I remember right, was kind of bad. Or was it the strong attack 1? There was one of her strong attacks that I felt was really bad. The strong attack 3 is full screen, which is quite nice, and then so is the special. She is comparable with Stark, but they are in the same tier, so it doesn't really matter. So, with that in mind, this is going to be our first S-tier character. I would definitely put her in S-tier. I'm a little torn. Like, maybe Eisen is also S-tier, but, like... I'm really torn on that. I'm very divided. I'm gonna leave him in A tier for now, and obviously if like someone's really mad about it in comments, they'll let me know. We're gonna get hydrated real quick. Gotta stay hydrated. Speaking of Stark, the Beyond Resurrection Stark, which is comparable to the Holybell. They are the same affiliation, same killer, not the same kit, but you know, recharge is a thing. Okay. So they are nearly comparable to each other. Stat-wise, they have the exact same SP, I think. Less attack on the Stark. 794 SP, which means it goes well over 800 with Transcension. He's ranged on everything, but he burns on everything, which to me is quite nice. The Bruiser at 20, he does arguably hit less hard than the Holybell, because she has a little bit more oomph to her hits. But everything else is a little comparable. He does burn, which is good for boss killing, as well as just good in general, because it means that there is additional massive damage being dealt from him burning things. The Debilitator does help, that way that burn lasts a little bit longer for the little extra ticks of burn damage. Devastation at 40 means his ult hits a little less than hers, but it's fine. He's also immune to burn, which is quite nice. against not really a Ronkars, but it's just good. Another character that feels like his use does go past his killer. Like, there could be a Floor of Senkaima where that comes in handy, where he's dealing with varied enemies. Frenzy, and then Havoc at 20. Obviously, that way the strong attacks go further than they already do, and then Sprinter. Attack-wise, we have... He does have a Beam, which is a much better strong attack 1 than her. The strong attack 2 also hits quite a bit more. She's really good, but he's also really good. They're pretty comparable to each other. I really feel like putting them in the same tier is fine. They're both S tier to me. So I think that's fine. Alright, next is another Beyond Resurrection character, is Zomari. This character... I didn't want to do that. I wanted to open him in a new link. There we go. Alright, Zomari. He is a no-affiliation killer, which is a big oof. But he has comparable stats to the others of the same era, because he's another Beyond Resurrection with 794 SP, just like they are. But he does have more attack than the other two. But the killer is a problem. The killer is pretty bad. He is ranged on everything, with weaken on everything. He has Bruiser at 20 and Debilitator, that way the weaken stays around longer. Devastation at 40 for the ult. Frenzy, Long Stride, and Sprinter. He's a fast boy. That does work in flavor with Zomari, who claims he has the fastest Sonido of the Espada, so that's really cool. Attack-wise, he has, I think, a Lunge for the strong attack 1. And then he has a Vortex for the strong attack 2. It hits a decent amount of times. Like 10 to 18 times. The strong attack 3 is not full screen, and then the ult is full screen. And he's comparable to Spirit Society Grimmjow, which is going to be in a lower tier than him. Yeah, so the Zomari is better than the character he compares to. I think Zomari's B, and he's better than Ginjo. That's where we'll put him. That's where we're going to put that. Alright. Retsu. Christmas Retsu. I like this character. Christmas Retsu has the best killer in the game, Soul Reaper. She's a recharge character. 778 SP, ranged on everything with Burn. Bruiser at 20, Debilitator for the Burn, Devastation at 40, Frenzy, Sprinter, and Weaken Attack on the ult. Okay, where do we want to put you? I feel like, honestly, you are comparable to stuff we've already just looked at. She's comparable to Shunsui, Tag Team Toshiro, and Amagai. Are any of the... Yeah, there's a better character than her that's comparable. The Toshiro is better than her. The Toshiro is better than her. The Shunsui's worse. And the Amagai is also worse. Although he's in a different bracket than her. So... Is he in a different bracket than her? We'll figure it out. But looking at it, she is comparable. She does have a full screen Strong Attack 3 though, and the special is also full screen as well. So to me, she is B tier, but worse than the other two. Is where I would put it. Alright, Ururu. Alright, Ururu is a recently resurrected character. She's no affiliation with Holokiller. It's kind of meh. She's a recharge character that also was given a normal attack damage increase link. 802 attack, 702 SP. This is a very good hybrid character. She's ranged on everything, and then she heals, as well as freezes on the Strong Attack 3 and the ult. This character used to be like a must-have, because in the original Senkaimon, she was like the best character for the last floor. Granted, nowadays there's other options, but back then she was like a must-have. Berserker at 30 and Bruiser at 40, so she hits actually really hard. Debilitator at 5 for the freeze, Devastation for the ult, Medic for the healing, and then Sprinter. Strong attack wise, it looks like she has a lunge, I think, for the strong attack 1. The strong attack 2 is a heal, which hits okay, and then full screen strong attack 3 is quite nice, and then the ult. She's comparable to Ginzuru, the tag team character, which we're going to get into him soon. But yes, so let's see. Izuru, or not Izuru, Ududu. I'd put her in C tier above Apache, is where I'd put her. If not, she would be a useful link because of the stuff. She's a good hybrid link, but we're not going to do that for her because she's actually usable. Alright, next is... Who was it? Gin? Yeah, this guy. Cacao Society Gin. Alright, so this guy is a Runker Killer, second best in the game. He's a recharge link. 770 SP, melee attack on everything, and then poison on everything, with Bruiser at 20%, Debilitator at 2 for the poison, Devastation at 40 for the ult, Frenzy, Long Reach for those melee attacks, Poison Immunity, which makes sense for him because he has a poison dealing character. It doesn't really quite work in the Arrancar bracket of enemies, but Senkaimon's a thing, so that's fine. And Sprinter plus 2, so he's a little faster than other characters. Let's see. Pretty standard. Strong attack 1. Interesting strong attack 2. Full screen strong attack 3 and ult. He's comparable to quite a few characters that are going to end up being in a higher tier than him, I think. Let's see, where are we going to put you? And what are you comparable to? Well, you're comparable to, let's see, Senna. But... Was Senna out? She's a newer character, right? Yeah, so my old stuff that I have for technique is not going to work to compare him to Senna. She's too new. So, and then that Ichigo is going to go somewhere else. He is comparable to Cayenne. They're on the same caliber. He's better than Yachiru, and he's better than Rangiku. Okay. Yeah, so this character is comparable to stuff in his tier. His peers of the same type. But we're going to put him in B. Worse than Retsu is where we'll put him. Alright, next is Cacao Holokiller, which did not get the best resurrection. The stats are good, but the kit is not. This part is the issue. The killer's also kind of an issue. Holokiller is just kind of, it's like probably the third best one, but that's the difference between how good Soul Reaper and a Runker Killer is and how good Holokiller is like night and day. The Holokiller is just good if it's like a secondary added to like a character with 2 killers, honestly. She does have a recharge enhanced link of 14%. Those are really good. Those are like the ones you want. With the added bonus of the weekend duration, means she's like, she's not bad, but like the 829 SP is really good. She doesn't have any status ailments is another issue. She's ranged, which is, I like that. With the 829 SP, it means she gets a lot of SP on her own. Berserker at 20 and Bruiser at 20 does help with this character being a little bit older. The Devastation of 40 is good for that ult that's going to get a lot of hits in because of how much SP there is on this character. Frenzy and Havoc that further helps the strong attacks on this older character and then Sprinter. Let's see. Her strong attack 1 is interesting. The strong attack 2 is pretty standard. Oh, it's a crawling vortex. It's pretty normal. Crawling vortexes are cool. And then a strong attack 3 that is arguably full screen. And then a special that is not full screen. She's comparable to Grimmjow. This Grimmjow is significantly better than she is. Like, this character is probably C tier. Yeah, we'll put her in C tier. Better than Apache. This Apache's not that good to me, to be honest. Alright, next we have Desert Society Ichigo. Alright, Desert Society Ichigo is a DR reduction character, damage reduction character at 16% with a Rankar Killer, 769 attack, 628 SP. He's ranged with burn and a heal. He doesn't have poise, but he heals. Berserker at 30 and Bruiser at 20 helps with the damage output of this character across the board. Debilitator for that burn. Devastation for the ult to make it a little better at 20%. Flurry for those attacks is quite nice. Medic for the healing option, and Sprinter. Let's see. He looks like he has a lunge. Not a lunge, but like something similar to that maybe for the strong attack 1. Strong attack 2 heals. Strong attack 3 is almost full screen. Distant AoE 1. Full screen strong attack. He is comparable to these characters, but he's going to be the first character we put into the auto tier. I think this character is good for autoing. He heals himself, and he has flurry, and he's ranged. This kind of character is going to instigate not getting hit. He will hit a lot from a distance, and if he does get hit, he can heal, which is quite good. Plus, the DR link means he gets hit a little bit less than normal. So, obviously, very good character. Alright, next we have Eisen. Taking the glasses off Eisen. The Drip God. Drip God Eisen. Alright, so, he's got the recharge link. He's got the Holokiller, which is... Holokiller's not that great. High SP, ranged, a barrier move, strong attack 2, and then he does transform in the ult. Berserker and Bruiser at 40, Devastation at 60. Freeze and Poison immunity is quite nice against mixed enemies, as well as the Freeze immunity is really good against Hollows, comparable to what he goes into to fight. Frenzy and Guard Break, meaning he's going to hit. Guard Break is a really good bonus on a SP character. I think this guy's A tier. I'm going to put him in A, but below Eisen, the other Eisen. This Eisen's really good. He has a better killer than this Eisen. Yeah, I'm going to keep them in A tier. Alright. Yachiru. Halloween Yachiru. Normal attack, damage, plus 20% with a Rankar Killer. 754 attack. Confusion on everything. Confusion is not that good unless you're Campfire World Shinji. I would argue Confusion's the worst status ailment in the game unless you're Bankai Shinji. Berserker, Bruiser at 40, Devastation, Devastation at 40, Debilitator, plus 5 seconds. Fire and Freeze immunity is kind of cool, and then Sprinter. She's comparable to very similar characters we've seen, but I would argue she's worse than them. The Confusion's just not that good. I would put her in C tier, and I put her below, like, everything else in C. Alright, next we have Hiyori. Hiyori is a Holokiller with normal attack damage, 763 attack, 614 SP. Melee everything. Berserker at 30. That does help with the strong attacks that are a little lacking with the 614 SP. Devastation does help that alt. Flurry and Poise. Poison immunity is a little odd, but alright. Sprinter and the weakened defense on the alt. This is going to be another auto character and not as good as the Ichigo. This is an auto character. I would put her in like a bad category, like lower than that, but honestly, she's like actually not bad. But I'd recommend that she's an auto character. She feels like a good auto character. Next is Kimpachi. An old Kimpachi at that. His original thing, it was a spot killer. This is already terrible. As well as attack plus 40, normal attack damage plus 16%. 749 attack, 626 SP. Normal attack everything. Adrenaline at 10, Berserker at 30, Bruiser at 10, Flurry, Long Reach, Poise, and Sprinter. This is a really bad character, but it's also just okay as an auto character, honestly. Like, you could just use this guy as an auto character and it'd be fine. The killer's bad, but he could still work. But he's, like, probably gonna end up being the bottom auto character for me. Alright, next we have Lisa. Lisa is a Holokiller with a recharge link. 774 SP. 638 attack, melee, lacerate on everything. I like lacerate personally. I think lacerate's very good. Bruiser at 20, debilitator 2 seconds, devastation 40, freeze immunity, which is good for hollow enemies, frenzy, sprinter, and weakened defense. Okay. Let's take a look around. Alright, pretty normal strong attack 1. She's kind of just standard, really. The strong attack 2 might be kind of bad. The strong attack 3 is full screen, so is the alt. She's comparable to Hiyori, which is an auto character, in my opinion. She's comparable to Hiyori, but, like, lacerate is actually quite nice. I would argue she's better than Hiyori. B. But, like, the low end of B is where I'd put her. Yeah, maybe top end of C? No, we'll put her in, yeah, C. We'll put her in C. Alright, next we have Dark Rukia from the Fade to Black movie. She got a pretty solid resurrection. So, she is a no affiliation, which is quite good in content. She has the best killer in the game. Strong attack recharge at 12%, with an added strong attack damage plus 16%. 829 SP, 700 attack. Melee, chargeable strong attack 3. Weaken on everything. Bruiser at 40 for the melee. Debilitator, devastation at 40. Frenzy, long reach at 20. Sprinter, weaken defense. Strong attack wise, pretty standard strong attack 1. The strong attack 2 is a beam. That's kind of cool. The alt is chargeable and not full screen. And then the alt is full screen. She's comparable to Ginzuru and Shuren from the Hellverse film banner. Okay, so I'm going to put her in B, but like the high end of B is where I'm going to put her, I think. Low end B is where I'd put her. Next, speaking of Shuren, he is here. Shuren, movie 4 version. He is a recharge link character originally, and then with the resurrection, he gets strong attack recharge. He is no affiliation, which is quite nice, and then Sorry Killer because he's comparable to Dark Rukia. He's ranged on everything with burn, 800 SP even. That's quite a bit. 755 attack is also quite a lot. He's a good hybrid character. Berserker at 40, bombardment on the alt, which means that alt hits a lot. Bruiser at 50. He has a lot of damage increase. Debilitator 2 seconds. Fire duration at 100%, meaning he's immune to burn, which is good against Storyboard enemies because there is the ones that burn. Sprinter, and weakened defense. Here's the issue, though. He's a DR character, and he's a recharge character with high hybrid stats, but no frenzy and no flurry. No poise, so he's not an auto character. Just... He's like very low C. Actually, he's a really good Link. He's a useful Link, honestly. We'll put him in useful Link. That's where he belongs. Alright, Mayuri. The New Year version. Alright, Mayuri is a rare human killer character. So very niche Senkaimon use. Recharge Link, pretty cool. 778 SP, meaning it goes over 800 with Transcension. Ranged, paralysis on everything but the Strong Attack 2. The Strong Attack 2 is a boost move. Bruiser at 20, Debilitator, Devastation at 40, Enhancer, that way he pretty much is infinite boost, Frenzy, and Sprinter. The Human Killer is very niche. The Strong Attack 1 is solid. Strong Attack 2 is the boost. Strong Attack 3 is not full screen. He's comparable to Tatsuki and the Swimsuit Orihime. The Swimsuit Orihime is definitely going to be better than him. Yes, she's better than him. The Tatsuki's a very useful Link. I'm going to put him in C, like the low end of C. Meaning, okay, we're going to do a little bit of movement here. Okay, so the Eisen, this Eisen's going to go up to S. This Rukia is going to stay there. Lisa's going to go up to B. And that looks fine to me. Yeah, we'll go with that. Okay, next is One-Armed Yama. One-armed version Yamamoto. Alright. He's a DR Link. He's got Captain Killer. 758 attack. Burn on everything. Berserker at 40 for the strong attacks. He also has a unique ult where it is a vortex of fire after, which means he has a chance to burn more. Like with the burn already going on and more ticks of damage. He has a very unique ult. I think him and like Cacao now are like the only ones that have it. Berserker at 40, Debilitator at 2 seconds, Devastation, Flurry and Poise, Long Reach, and Sprinter. This is going to be a first example of a PvP character. The Captain Killer is not that great anywhere else, and just in general, he'd either be really good in auto because of the DR and the burn and everything else, and just the Flurry Poise, or where he really belongs at is a PvP character, but not a great one, just is a PvP character. Alright, next we have Parasol Nell. She should get resurrected soon, I think. I would like that. Holokiller, enhanced normal attack damage, 754 attack. 628 SP. Melee with paralysis on everything. Berserker at 40, Bruiser at 50. No flurry. But she does hit quite hard. Debilitator at 5 seconds. Devastation at 30. Long reach at 20. And Sprinter +1. The attacks are... She has a Vortex, Strong Attack 2, but it's a planted one, which are kind of bad compared to the crawling ones, or the ones that pull stuff in. Or like the auto-reaching ones, like Eisen or Biakia. But Strong Attack 3 and Special are full screen. She is comparable to Sun, the Parasol Sun. She's not as good as Parasol Sun. So, with that in mind, I think she's C tier. Better than the Mayuri and the Yachiru. And the Apache. We'll stick her like there. Speaking of, Parasol Nell, Sun is next. Sun is a Holokiller, of course, because comparable to the Nell. Recharge link this time, 777 SP. Cool, 636 attack, melee everything, bruiser at 20, devastation, fire immunity, which is sure, frenzy, long reach, 20%, sprinter, okay. Attack wise, she does have a beam strong attack 1, which is like the best in the game. Strong attack 2 is good. Strong Attack 3 is a full screen vortex that's quite nice, and Strong Attack, or the special, is also full screen. I would put this Sun in B tier, but like below the other stuff in B. Alright, another Hiyori. This is the past one. Past Hiyori, when she was a lieutenant. Captain Killer, strong attack damage at 25%. This is going to be a bad character. This is going to be quite a bad character, to be honest. The problem here is the killer's bad and the link is unique, but really, strong attack damage increase links are archaic. They're not really used. 735 SP, paralysis on the strong attack 2 and the alt, bruiser at 20, debilitator for the paralysis, devastation, frenzy, paralyzing spirit. I don't know what that is. What is paralyzing spirit? Adds paralysis to special move. That feels old. That feels like a really old thing that they got rid of. Yeah. Sprinter. Okay. So, neat. We learned something today. This is an example of a bad character. The killer's bad. The link is not good. Yeah, this is an example of the first D tier character. Yeah, D tier. Shinji. Past Shinji. A Roncar killer. Damage inflicted at low stamina plus 30%. Ugh, those are kind of not good. Very niche. 762 attack, 616 SP, melee everything, lacerate specifically on the alt. Berserker at 40, bruiser at 80. This guy hits really hard. Really, really hard. No frenzy, no flurry. The flurry would help this bruiser. This character would be insane with flurry. Devastation at 30%, freeze immunity, paralysis immunity. The freeze is... Sure, the paralysis matters against the Ronkars. Mixed immunities for different kinds of events. Long reach, 20%. Sprinter, okay. Attack-wise, pretty standard strong attack 1. Vortex planted. A long-hitting strong attack 2, though, which is pretty good. Full screen strong attack 3 with the vacuum is kind of nice. Pulls them in, which is good for him wanting to hit with the melee attacks. Special is that he's comparable to all of these characters, and most of these are better. This character just isn't all that great. He's like C. But like better than the Mayuri. Yeah, I'd put him like there. Shunsui, the past version. Story per killer, best in the game, baby. Strong attack damage, 20%. 778 SP, which is quite nice. Ranged lacerate on everything. That's pretty cool. We like lacerate. Lacerate's cool. Bruiser at 20. Debilitator at 2. Devastation, frenzy, sprinter, weaken immunity. The weaken immunity is nice against bosses that'll hit you with their alt, hit you with the weaken. So... I think Strong Attack 1 might be a lunge, which is pretty cool. Crawling Vortex, Strong Attack 2, it's kind of nice. Full screen, special. He doesn't have anything all that special, though, to him. He doesn't really enhance his moves all that much, other than the Strong Attack damage. He doesn't recharge either, which is another issue. I'd put this guy in C, like, above the Shinji. But that's kind of... the Yachiru is arguably better. Yeah, that's what we'll do. Yoruichi, past version. Yoruichi is an Oronkar killer. Normal attack damage increase. With poison duration. Really bad resurrection stuff going on here. 7-9 SP. 655 SP. Melee everything. Bruiser at 20, cool. Havoc, long reach, cool. Long stride sprinter, she's fast. Frenzy, devastation. Just, this character's not good. The link isn't useful. This is another example of a bad character. Very bad. Alright. Rangiku. She is an Holokiller with stamina recovery. Alright, pretty cool. 733 SP, a little bit older. Strong Attack 3 is a chargeable one. We kind of like those. They're fun. Alt is Paralysis. Bruiser at 20%, Devastation at 40%, Frenzy, Long Reach, and Sprinter. Very minimalist kit. But her Strong Attack 2 is a massive Vortex. This used to matter in Guild Quest a lot, but not quite anymore. She's like C tier, but like better than the Mayuri, but that's about it. Alright, next we have Rukia. Holokiller with enhanced recharge link, 790 SP, ranged freeze on everything. Berserker and Bruiser at 20, Debilitator at 5 for the freeze, Devastation 40%, Freeze Immunity, Frenzy, and Sprinter. Okay, this character has a beam, Strong Attack 1, which is extremely good, really long reach, Strong Attack 2, full screen Strong Attack 3, full screen melee or special. She's comparable to all of these characters, and honestly, she's better than all of them. She is probably the best in her tier at Technique Holokiller that I can think of. I would put her in S, but she is below these other 3. Yes. That's how we'll do it. Alright. Grimjow. He's got no affiliation killer, which is a little bit of a hindrance. He also doesn't recharge link. He's strong attack damage, which is just okay. 774 SP, which is pretty high. Weaken on everything. Bruiser at 20, Debilitator at 5, Devastation at 40, Frenzy, Long Reach 20%, Sprinter. And then pretty standard kit, it looks like. Vacuum Vortex is pretty cool. Strong Attack 3 at full screen, ranged full screen. He doesn't really benefit himself too much. He doesn't have Havoc. He doesn't have Guard Break. The stuff that you want to look for on an SP character these days in terms to make them really high caliber. He's also, like, no affiliation killer, which is really bad. So with all that in mind, he is like the high end of C. He's the high end of C tier so far. Next is Cayenne. I spelled that wrong. Cayenne is a Holokiller recharge link. Hell yeah. 792 SP. Chargeable Strong Attack 3, pretty dope. Paralysis on everything. Berserker Bruiser 20, pretty standard. Debilitator, Devastation 40, standard. Frenzy, Havoc, that does, it is nice to see the Havoc. Paralysis immunity is also nice because he deals all that paralysis stuff, so it's good that he's immune to his own ailment. And pretty long-reaching stuff here for the strong attacks. Full screen when charged, strong attack 3, full screen alt, comparable to all these characters, but he's better than most of them. Cayenne is going to be A tier. Is he A? No, he's B. But he's like here. He's B tier. Orihime. Swimsuit Orihime. Human Killer. Recharge link. 782 SP. A healing alt with a chance to instant kill. That's pretty hilarious. Bruiser at 20. Devastation. Frenzy. Long reach. Slow immunity. Sprinter. Weakened defense. Alright. So, she's comparable to Tatsuki. But Tatsuki is just a useful link. This character is better than Tatsuki. This character's like C tier, but like the high end of C. Tensa Zangetsu. Tensa Zangetsu, Sasori per Killer, Recharge Link, Recovery, Stamina Boy, Melee Everything, no status ailments, 816 SP after Resurrection, 686 attack, pretty dope. Berserker at 20, Bruiser at 30, Devastation at 40, Frenzy, Long Reach, Sprinter, Weakened Defense. Let's take a look at these attacks. Okay, so... Full Screen Strong Attack 3. He's comparable to these guys. A lot of these guys are older. The thing that is, like... So, he's comparable to all these units. But... he's worse than the top tier of them. So... Like, individual Sorry per Killer is not often done now. At least lately. And so, like, at least of this caliber. Like, you look at everything else comparable to him, and it just isn't done often. Like, there's... What's his name from the movie? Not Kokuto. Whatever your name is. We'll get to that in a minute. I need to know your name. Kusaka. There we go. Cool. He's better than most of the stuff in his tier, though. And of his peers. I put him in C. Yeah, he's like C tier. Tesla. Sorry per Killer, best in the game, neat, 769 SP, melee everything, shielding for the secondary, strong attack, Bruiser at 20, Devastation 40, Frenzy, Long Reach, Poison Immunity, Sprinter, Weaken Attack. Strong attack wise, full screen, pretty cool. He's comparable to Apache, but like I think he's worse than Apache. This character's kind of bad. Like, I think he's like D, but he's like the higher end of D. At least so far, anyways. It's just kind of bad. Alright, next. We've got Lost Agent Bankai Ichigo. This character is a beast. This character is a beast. Certified animal. This character's still good. This character's very good. Berserker at 20, Bruiser at 40, Devastation at 40, Strong Attack Damage increase, Strong Attack Recharge link also added with the Resurrection. Holokiller is kind of meh. Melee everything, 809 SP as fat for an old character, 692 attack. Frenzy, Long Reach, Sprinter, weaken attack on the ult, and he has a massive Strong Attack 3, he has a massive Strong Attack 2, full screen everything. He is really decent at comparing to everything else in his tier. Honestly, this character is just good. He's aged really well. I'd put him in A. A tier character, honestly. Kensei. Recharge Link, Soul Reaper Killer. 622, 767, no anything there. Berserker 40, Bruiser 50, Devastation 30, Long Reach 20, Process Duration 100, Sprinter +1. Pretty standard stuff. Full Screen Strong Attack 3. Nothing else has ever been done that is the exact same of him. He is peerless. Meaning, Captain Hollow with Sorry per Killer, it's not been done except for him. At least in technique attribute. Auto? Or useful link? Torn. We're gonna go auto. Rookia. Rookia is Sorry per Killer, which is really nice. Strong attack damage increase, normal attack damage increase. 772. She's also enhanced strong attack damage link, which is nice. 772 SP. Weaken on strong attack 1, 2, and the ult. Bruiser, Debilitator, Devastation Frenzy, Sprinter, Minimalist Kit. Strong attack 1. Sure. She's kind of bad. Like, yeah, she's kind of bad. She's a decent Link. Like, she's a kind of useful hybrid Link, I guess. I don't know how useful it is, though. She's kind of just bad. Like, yeah, she's just kind of bad. Soy phone. Ah, yes. The reason why they don't do long stride anymore. All right. Hell yeah, boys. Let's take a look at this guy. The girl. A Holokiller. Enhanced recharge link. 725 SP. She does poison on everything and then burn on the ult. Bruiser at 20. Debilitator at 2 seconds. Devastation at 40. Frenzy, long stride, and sprinter. This character is mega fast. She hits hella hard. Boss killer incarnate. Burn and poison. This character is a monster. This is another S tier character. This is an S tier character, and yeah, that's where we'll put her. She's an S tier character. Very, very good character. Alright. Next up is Koga. Tag Team Koga. Alright. Sorry, Killer, Captain Killer. He got resurrected. No, he didn't. These stats are pretty poor. But he's got unique stuff, right? So he's got the Frenzy, which is nice. Blast Zone, Bruiser, Devastation. Blast Zone is the radius of the ult. Weakening on those two. Burn on the Strong Attack 1 and the ult. He's actually just kind of okay. He's like the bottom of C. Toshiro. Tag Team Toshiro. Sorry, Berserker Killer. Best killers in the game, but he's a strong attack damage increase. Not a recharge. Freeze on everything. 765 SP. Bruiser at 20%. Gonna hydrate real quick. Alright. Frenzy, long reach. I'd say he's like A. He's like the high end of A. I spelled that wrong. Alright. Manga Biakia. Cool. A Rocker Killer, damage inflicted at full stamina, 20%. Pretty poor stats, honestly. He's not going to age all that well to begin with, because he's a Biakia from back in the day, and they just never made good Biakias until recently. Ranged, Barrier, which does encourage this damage inflicted at full stamina link. Berserker at 40 for the strong attacks. Bombardment, meaning his ult hits really hard. Bruiser at 30, Havoc at 20, Sprinter. This is like just probably like the highest end of C, to be honest. Alright, next we have Mangakisuke. Okay, Mangakisuke is a Holokiller with Recharge Link, 770 SP, melee everything, and then a unique ult that is, when people die, they come back. Guaranteed. Bruiser at 20, Devastation at 40, Frenzy, Long Reach at 20, Poison Immunity, and Sprinter. Attack-wise, the Strong Attack 1 is really hard-hitting, 180 mag, which is quite nice. Strong Attack 2 is pretty standard. Strong Attack 3 is full screen, same thing with the ult. He's comparable to these characters, but he's worse than a couple of these characters. The Kisuke is like... B? Probably like... Yeah, we'll just throw him in B. Alright. Oetsu. Soul Reaper, Squad Zero Killer, strong attack recharge. best killer in the game, 778 attack. Melee, chance to instant kill alt with a boost move. Berserker at 50, which means those strong attacks hit really hard. Bruiser at 40, quite nice. The recharge link is very helpful here with this kind of character. Enhancer, because then he essentially can be infinite boost. Flurry and guard break, just really hard-hitting character. Paralysis immunity is also quite nice. Sprinter. This is a first example of an SS tier character. This is pretty much the best technique character in the game right now. Not gonna lie to you, just really, really good character. Ichigo. Alright, Manga Ichigo. 1000-Year Blood War Ichigo. A Spada Killer, normal attack damage 20%. 771 attack. Ranged everything. Berserker at 40. Devastation at 40. Flurry, Sprinter, weakened defense. This character hits really hard, so he's an auto character. But he's like here. Here. But yeah, he's a really good auto character, in my opinion. Alright, Wonder Weiss. Oh boy. Wonder Weiss has never been resurrected. He is a Captain Killer, Fire Immunity for his Link, which is kind of neat, I guess. Mixed stats, because they want him to be hybrid. Melee, everything. Berserker at 40. Bombardment, so hard-hitting alt. Bruiser at 40. Decent damage boosting here, actually. Devastation at 20, long reach at 20. But range-wise, pretty standard kit so far, but the full screen, strong attack 3. Nothing else is like him, though. He is peerless when it comes to a wrong card Captain Killer. But just bad. This character's bad. Alright. Biakia, Kid Biakia. Alright, Kid Biakia is a no-affiliation killer. Recharge Link. Lacerate on everything. 778 SP. Bruiser at 20. Debilitator. Devastation Frenzy. Havoc. Havoc is nice. This means that his stuff is a little bit better than normal. Pretty cool. Nothing else is like him. He's kind of peerless. C? But like... yeah, we'll just throw him in C. What the hell is your name again? The Quincy dude. Well, Askin. Whoop. There we go. Askin. He's a Quincy. Squad 0 killer. Damage taken 16%. 785 attack. He has a stat reduction, this thing. Stat reduction, strong attack 2, poison on everything but the strong attack 2, and a instant killing chance alt. Berserker at 40, Bruiser at 30, Flurry and Poise, Paralysis immunity, Poison immunity. He starts with 10 barriers and Sprinter. He's an auto god or a PvP character. He's the best PvP character in technique that we've seen so far. Ginzuru. Gin and Izuru are Soul Reaper and Holokiller. Recharge Link, 798 SP, poison on everything. But if you switch them, Izuru has Lacerate on the normal attack, which is quite cool. Berserker at 20, Bruiser at 20, Debilitator 2 seconds, Devastation 40%. Frenzy +1, Guard Break, Long Reach, and Sprinter. This is another A tier character. Yeah, we'll put him there. A tier. Alright. Essentials. Kimpachi is a potion character for technique. Essential. Easy. Uryu. Manga Uryu. Alright. Uryu is a Soul Reaper killer Quincy with strong attack recharge, 815 SP, ranged, and a healing alt. Ailment Reversal. His ability is that he cannot get hit with status ailments. Instead, he will reverse them to the enemy and heal for a bunch. This character is kind of unkillable, to be honest. And just everything else is really strong. Berserker at 40, Bruiser at 40, Devastation 60, Frenzy, Guard Break. The Guard Break is really important here as well. Havoc, added bonus. We're just gonna throw him in S, like the high end of S. Yeah. He's the highest in S tier so far. Alright, Ninny. Ninny from Burn the Witch. Arankar, no affiliation killer, recharge enhanced link, 811 SP, ranged with a barrier. Berserker at 60, her strong attacks hit crazy hard. Bruiser at 40, devastation at 60, the ult hits really hard. Frenzy, Havoc, nullify range resistance, meaning that she's going to hit everything that would resist her. And Sprinter, the Frenzy, the Havoc is really good. I mean, this Havoc means, like, her strong attack 1 hits crazy far. The strong attack 2 hits crazy far. Everything just hits massive range. This Ninny is easily the second best in her bracket of technique. It is Oetsu and Ninny are the best technique characters in the game, hands down, so far in this list. Kukaku. Kukaku Shiba. Damage reduction. Arankar Killer. 773 attack. Melee burn. Berserker at 30. Bruiser at 20. Debilitator, Devastation, Flurry, and Poise. Long Reach. Sprinter plus 2. That's actually... she's kind of fast. A, maybe? Or auto. Maybe like the best auto character? Did you like the best auto character so far? Christmas Kisuke. Oh boy. Christmas Kisuke is, well, he's old, but he's a crystal drop character as well as a recharge link. This is a really good link. That's a really useful link. Alright, Frenzy Renji is a normal attack damage character as well as a recharge link. This is another useful link. Useful link, they go. Ikumi. Ikumi is a recharge character or damage reduction character, so Reaper Killer. She's a PvP character as well. She does heal, funny enough, on the paralysis, but, like, no, she's just kind of, she doesn't have poise, though. She does heal on the ult, but it's, like, bad stats. She's bad. D tier. Alright, Izuru. Normal attack damage, 25%. Best killer in the game. Damage reduction. Slow on mostly things. Older character. This is a very useful link. Kensei. Old Kensei. Normal attack damage and damage reduction. Older character, useful link. Hell yeah, brother. Do your thing. What the hell is your name? Moe? Yeah. He's a crystal drop character, meaning he's also PvP reward, so useful link. Boom. Easy. Stark. Good old Stark. Reaper Killer. Recharge, strong attack damage, ranged, everything. This character is honestly kind of fun. Like, this character is actually a lot of fun to use. But he's, like, not good, is the problem. But he does have the Sprinter plus 2. He's, like, fast. He's a really useful link, honestly. He's, like, a really, really good link. He's just a really useful link, honestly. Rukia, the stuffed animal. This is a PvP reward character, so they're bad. Damage reduction, just bad. It's a bad character. White Day Ukiura. White Day Ukiura is Reaper Killer, best in the game, damage reduction. freeze duration as well, middling stats, a heal, frenzy. This is a bad character. This is just a bad character. Yeah, he's bad. D tier. Alright. Manga Yamamoto is this lad. Normal or no affiliation killer, recharge, 815 SP, burn on everything. Berserker at 20, Bruiser at 20, damage to burning enemies at 20%. He does burn, which is like really, really good. Is he the one with the init skill? Yeah, okay, so his init skills is that he reads dodges, as well as, Immolator, meaning he just passively burns things, and he's immune to fire. This character hits extremely hard. This is, A tier, S tier, actually. He's an S tier character. Yeah, he's S tier, and the top of S tier. Okay, Jowl. Jowl is Holokiller, damage inflicted to full stamina, 20%. 798 SP, or 25%, sorry, it's an enhanced damage inflicted at full stamina. Melee everything, 798 SP. Team and party raises team attribute Arankar strong attack damage by 20%. Berserker at 40, Bruiser at 40, Devastation at 60. Frenzy, a recharge link built in. Does he have any init skills? No, he does not. Okay. This is another S tier character. Right there. We've already done that Ichigo. Rangiku. Christmas Rangiku. She is a Spot Killer, which is bad. Recharge link, 798 SP. Paralysis on everything with a heal. Pretty cool. She does do Berserker 20%, Bruiser 20%, damage to paralyzed enemies 20%. That's actually quite nice. Better than most. Debilitator 5 seconds, Devastation 40, Frenzy Sprinter, Weakened Defense, as well as no init skills, just standard kit. Beam is really good. I'd say she's like B. Like, yeah, we'll put her in B tier. Nemu. Alright, Steampunk Nemu. Strong attack recharge. Holokiller. 802 SP, very high. Chargeable strong attack 3, paralysis everything, and ranged. She increases team attribute Cerebro strong attack damage by 20%. Berserker and Bruiser at 20, meaning she raises all of her stuff by 40%. Debilitator, 5 seconds, Devastation, Frenzy, Havoc. Havoc for increasing the range. Increased status damage chance against speed attribute Hollows by 10%, which is quite nice. And then init skill, she's immune to freeze, passively. This is a really good character. This is like an A tier character. A high A tier character. Alright, next we have Mayuri. Mayuri is an Espada killer with recharge. He's one of the speed droplet characters. 811 SP. He can also heal stuff back from the dead with his ult and weakening on everything. He does have guard break and frenzy. This is actually a really good character, despite the killer. I'm putting him in Essential because he does increase droplet chance, and that could just be put in your party. So that's honestly just quite nice. Nell. Fierce Battle Nell. Damage reduction. Okay. Arankar Killer, 773 attack, melee. She does increase Arankar normal attack damage by 20%. Berserker at 60. Bruiser at 50. Flurry, Poise, Freeze Immunity, Melee damage plus 10%, or 30% in Guild Quest. Poise and Sprinter plus 2. She's fast. And then, this is honestly quite a good character. She hits really hard. This would be like an auto goddess, honestly. This is like a crazy good auto character. Shinji. Spirit Society Shinji is Sorry per Killer, best in the game. Strong attack recharge enhanced, that's quite nice. 815 SP, ranged paralysis on everything. Berserker 20, Bruiser 20. Damage to paralyzed enemies 20. Debilitator 5 seconds, devastation. Frenzy guard break. This is going to be an example of a very high, like S tier. We'll put him in S. Zenbone Zakura Kageyoshi. Or just Zenbone Zakura, the spirit. Damage taken, reduced. Holokiller, 773, ranged. Berserker 50, Bruiser 40, devastation. Flurry and follow-up. The follow-up is nice, meaning he hits knockdown enemies. Poise and Sprinter. Another example of a really good auto character. Probably the second best auto character in technique. Alright, Kusaka. Recharge Sorry per Killer. Oh, this guy hits really hard. 806 SP. Okay, so this is pretty much Bankai Shinji, but for freeze. This is, like, literally S tier. Like, very high S tier. Almost, maybe SS. I mean, like, okay, let's do some math here. 806 SP is going to go well over 800 with technique. Berserker and Bruiser, damage to frozen enemies 20, as well as increased by 20, meaning he hits frozen enemies for 80% increased damage. Debilitator at 5, Devastation, Frenzy, and Havoc. This Havoc is really good, meaning everything here, massive beam, massive strong attack 2, full screen Vortex, strong attack 3, and full screen. I mean, this is freeze technique Bankai Shinji. This is an SS tier character. Very, very good. Extremely hard hitting. And then, this is another potion character, the Uryu. This Safeway Uryu. So, we've done those two. We've done that. We've done you. We've done you. We've done you. Okay, we have 3 characters left. Senna. She is one of the newest characters for this bracket. Strong attack recharge time, minus 12%. Arrancar Killer, 811 SP, lacerate on everything. Berserker and Bruiser at 20, Debilitator 2 seconds for the lacerate, Devastation 40, Frenzy and Guard Break, Droplet increase, and Sprinter. We're going to throw her in Essential just because she's also quite good to use, but also she's a Droplet increase, so even if you don't want to use her, she could just be in the team like the Mayuri, and that's good for Droplet increase, which is good in runs that relate to Droplet increase. Alright, now for 2 other new characters. We have the Artwork campaign Ichigo. This is a Soul Reaper killer, no affiliation killer, enhanced recharge link. Character 14%, 843 SP, stupid. Weakening on everything, Berserker at 60, Bombardment, Bruiser, Debilitator, Frenzy, Havoc, Marauder, and Poise. He hits everything. This is the best technique character in the game. This is the best technique character in the game, hands down. The best technique character in the game. And lastly, we have Bargain. This is the latest technique character to come out. Bargain. Arrancar Killer, recharge link, 815 SP. That's quite high. Weakening on everything. Berserker at 20, Bruiser at 20, Debilitator at 5, Devastation 40, Frenzy, melee damage 30%, and Guild Quest. Sprinter, weakened defense. Attack-wise, he has a beam. That's quite good. Pretty good strong attack 2. Full screen, full screen. Nothing else like him in the game, really. Your killer kind of sucks. But, like, I'm going to say A. He's, like, low A is where we'll throw him. Alright, and that concludes our tier list. Last look at it. Thank you guys for watching. I hope this was helpful to anyone that is watching to look at where technique stuff is in 2021. If you have any questions or feedback about just comments in general about the tier list or just anything that you want to put down there, leave a comment in the comment section below. I will get to it. Leave a like, that way it goes and spreads to other people that want to see Bleach content. Hit the bell and hit the subscribe button to stay tuned for more Bleach-related content. It has been a pleasure, guys. Thank you for watching once again. Bye.